Hello YouTube, welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm NBA Jerry and thank you for watching. You tuned in to another edition of Jerry's NBA News of the Day. With that being said, let's get you the news. First, Hawks signed free agent power forward / center Josh Powell, a former player, reserve player for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's actually a pretty good player. I don't know if you guys don't know him. He's a guy with the braids. Really good, solid 15-foot jump shooter, plays real hard, goes to the glass real hard, pretty good rebounder. He's a hustle player. Really good pickup for the Hawks. Too bad for the Lakers for losing him because he's a really good player. But overall, good pickup for the Hawks. Hawks re-signed center Jason Collins. Terms are undisclosed, as well as Josh Powell's deal was undisclosed as well. Really good backup center. He's strong. Jason Collins playing center. He's a pretty good pickup. He's not, a starting center. Either be a backup center or start. Definitely have to have Horford at the power forward spot. So good re-signing for the Atlanta Hawks, re-signing Jason Collins. Also, Warriors signed free agent Gennaro Pargo. He's kind of a journeyman a little bit. He's a guy that is a speedster. He's a pretty good shooter, point guard, runs a team. He signed a 2-year, $2.4 million deal. He'll be basically taking C.J. Watson's spot because remember C.J. Watson left the Golden State Warriors and went to the Bulls. So pretty good signing for the Golden State Warriors, picking up Gennaro Pargo, really good player. Houston Rockets trade center David Anderson with cash considerations to the Toronto Raptors for a future second-round pick. Clippers re-signed three-point specialist Rasul Butler. Good re-signing for the LA Clippers with Blake Griffin being in there. You need some spot-up three-point shooters around him because he's going to get double-teamed. I call Blake Griffin the forgotten man because nobody's talking about him. I'm telling you right now, that young guy is a man down there, and he's going to get double-teamed. So with Rasul Butler out there, he'll be able to stretch the defense. So very good re-signing for the Los Angeles Clippers. Lakers center Andrew Bynum underwent successful right knee surgery on that real bad knee that was bothering him basically throughout the playoffs and the last part of the season. So he should be good to go, guys. And let me tell you something. This is a young, big, strong center in the NBA. In my opinion, he's top 3 or 4 centers in the NBA that nobody really even puts him in there because with his size, his length, his athletic ability, and his strength, I mean, that's a really good combination for the Lakers. So with Bynum being healthy and the Lakers picking up the additional players they picked up like Steve Blake, Theo Ratliff, and Matt Barnes, Lakers are going to be tough, so watch out for the Lakers. Magic head coach Stan Van Gundy re-signs with the Orlando Magic. That deal will go through to the 2012-2013 NBA season. Terms of that deal undisclosed, but obviously that's a big deal for Orlando. They have to worry about their coach for the next few years. He's one of the top 5-6 coaches in the NBA. Very passionate about what he does. He also knows all the players there and everybody's familiar with him. So really good signing for Stan Van Gundy and also the Orlando Magic organization. Wizards re-signed small forward Josh Howard to a 1-year, close to $4 million deal. That's a really good signing for both Washington and Josh Howard. Remember, folks, Josh Howard came over in the deal from Dallas for Caron Butler and all those guys. So that's a good signing for the Washington Wizards, especially with John Wall and Gilbert Arenas returning. So watch out for the Wizards. They might sneak in there in the top 7, 8 in the East. So you never know. But Josh Howard is definitely a very good all-around player. A lot of people don't talk about him, but he's a pretty good player. So that's a really good signing for the Washington Wizards, and this will be a good home for Josh Howard along with John Wall and Gilbert Arenas. Yao Ming has been recently talked about in the news about basically his injured foot. He's saying that basically if he doesn't, get his foot back right, that he may think about retirement. And a lot of people have been making a big deal about it. It's just, him talking and things like that. But you got to remember, folks, this guy is 7'5", 7'6", over 300 pounds. And a person that size is not supposed to be running up and down the court for an 82-game season, regular season, plus the preseason, plus the playoffs, and not including when he plays for the Olympics for his team in China. So it's very difficult for a guy that size to do that. So hopefully, his foot will heal right and everything will be fine. He'll have a good career. Because in my opinion, Yao Ming is still top 3 centers when he's healthy. I mean, you're talking about a 2010 guy, and for a guy like that to have so much pressure, not only from his team and his country, but from a whole continent, so he represents a lot of people. So a lot of pressure on Yao Ming, but I think he'll be back and strong and be ready to go next season. Now let's talk about Jerry's NBA question of the day from the last question of the day I asked you. The question I asked you guys, who do you guys think will be the 15 players that will make the roster, in New York City? And I looked through everybody's answers. Everybody gave great answers. Unfortunately, nobody gave the right 15 players. That's a hard question, but you guys did a pretty good job. The 15 players that made it were as follows: Chauncey Billups, Rudy Gay, Jeff Green, Brook Lopez, Kevin Love, Tyson Chandler, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Eric Gordon, Danny Granger, Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook, Andre Iguodala, Lamar Odom, and Derrick Rose. Congratulations to those guys. Unfortunately, the players that did not make the cut were JaVale McGee, Tyreek Evans, Gerald Wallace, and O.J. Mayo. All these guys are pretty good players. Obviously, JaVale McGee was an add-on because Amari and David Lee and stuff like that wasn't playing, so he was kind of like a long shot to make it. But the 15 players that made it, it's debatable whether or not O.J. Mayo or maybe Gerald Wallace should have been on that team. Coaches went with it. They actually took a couple extra days to pick these players. That's a very tough decision to make. So overall, I think it'll be a pretty good team over there in Turkey for the USA FIBA team. Now, let's get into Jerry's NBA question of the day. Now, before I do that, I want to give you guys some news. If you guys ever heard, you probably did. The Cleveland Indians hosted the New York Yankees in a baseball game. And a fan came to the game in Cleveland, and he wore a Miami Heat jersey, a LeBron James number 6 Miami Heat jersey. And he was basically verbally attacked. People were throwing things at him. It got really, really ugly and really, really scary. The police had to actually escort him out of the place because people were, getting very, very hostile and very, very dangerous situation for the young man and his girlfriend. With that being said, obviously, they were doing this because their dislike or hatred for, I guess, LeBron James and the way he did, left the team. And also there's been discussions about LeBron James' legacy in Cleveland and things like that. Here's my question, folks. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. In your opinion, do you think LeBron James should have his number 23 retired in Cleveland? Let me know. If you do not think he should, tell me why. If he does, tell me why. We'll take a vote and we'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting. Remember, obviously he's the greatest Cleveland Cavalier player. There's no doubt about that. But when you retire somebody's jersey, that means you're honoring that person. So are they going to respect and say, we're going to honor the best player we ever had? Or we're going to say, because of the way he did us and basically went on national TV and did the things that he did, and all the comments Dan Gilbert said, because he's the owner of the team, do you think LeBron James should have his number retired? Let me know, guys. Okay? Thanks. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, what I said to you guys yesterday in the video about Lorenzen Wright. When people pass away, like I said before, it's a devastating loss. And, it just doesn't seem like there's anything good out of that. But the bottom line is, no matter what happens to you in life, negatively, there's always an equal positive message or something equal positive that comes out of that. So whatever it is in your life that you're going through, whether it's a death in the family, like I said, a loss of a job, a boyfriend or girlfriend, you broke up with them, anything that negative happens to you, just make sure you do your best to find and get something positive out of that that's equal to that negative. Because believe me, there is something positive that comes out of everything in your life, even the negative things. So do that for me. And remember, folks, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.